What up, guys? JP here, back at you with another DVD and Blu-ray update. It's been so long since I've done one of these. I've missed them so much. These are some of my favorite videos to make on YouTube, if not my favorite. I've always liked these. I like watching them, I like doing them. And it's been so long because some of you guys know my house caught on fire and everything was in storage and it was just a mess, chaotic, and I just really didn't feel like doing videos for the past 6 months, which that's the last time I've done an update. But, you know, with that said, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to do them again. This is going to be a really long one because this is all the stuff that I've got over the past few months. Now, it's not the full 6 months because some of that stuff got mixed around with my other stuff, and I really don't know what I showed and what I didn't show, how you guys definitely don't remember. So I'm like 90% sure that this, 90% of this stuff I'm about to show, I haven't shown yet. There might be one here or there that I actually have talked about or shown in a DVD update, but I cannot remember. So, for the most part, this is all the stuff I've got in the past, good few months. So, I'm going to get right into it because this is going to be a long one, guys. Ready? Get set, go. First up is Warlock. This is a film that we talked about on the podcast. We did the Warlock trilogy, which it was a pretty fun episode, kind of underviewed. A lot of people didn't check that one out, so if you haven't, checked that episode out, you can find it on our website, 22shotsandboodsandhorror.com. Next up, Warlock 2. This one was actually a lot of fun for me. The other guys didn't like the Warlock trilogy so much. I really enjoyed the first two. Warlock 3. The End of Innocence. This one was awful. It was one of the worst films we ever seen on there, reviewed on there, on the podcast, and it was pretty much, almost created a whole meme / in-joke that we say all the time because of the actor Bruce Payne. It was Bruce Painful. I know, pretty dorky, right? But after that, we have Hanger. This is my first couple Ryan Nicholson films. We did an episode on the podcast featuring Ryan Nicholson films. We did Hanger, and it was alright. I didn't love it. It was good, but it was not as strong as his first film, which is Gutterballs. And this one I actually really did like. I love this one. This one was fantastic. They're making a sequel. There's still a couple days to donate towards that sequel. Definitely do that. It's a Indiegogo campaign. Just Google it, you'll find it. And we covered both of the Hanger and Gutterballs on that episode. Check that out if you're interested. After that, we have Silent Night, Deadly Night 3-pack. This is Silent Night, Deadly Night, Better Watch Out, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Initiation, and The Toy Maker. All 3 of the later sequels. Wow, this is a bad series. We covered the whole series on the podcast, so if you're interested in that, check that out as well. And but be very wary of picking these things up. And this set you can get for about $15 or under if you're lucky. But man, oh man, these films are bad. And the disc art and the DVD's menu selection screen is all the same on all 3 discs. Very bad stuff there. After that, we have The Last Exorcism. I grabbed this one at Big Lots a while back for like $3. I was pretty pissed off to find out that there's actually an unrated edition of this, so pretty much wasted my money grabbing this thing, so I'm not really happy about that. Then we have Ghosts of Mars, which I also got at Big Lots for about $3. I haven't popped this bad boy in yet, but I actually really like Ghosts of Mars. I've always have, ever since, what did it come out, like 98, 99? That era. I remember renting it and I loved it. It actually spooked me out that night. A lot of people hate this one, and I'm pretty sure, I'm certain that it is cheesy and bad. I haven't seen it in years, but there's just something about it that I enjoyed, Ice Cube and shit. So yeah, Ghosts of Mars. After that, we have Frankenfish. This one was actually really good for a sci-fi low budget crap fest. You expect just tons of CGI, very bad made film, but it actually was very well made. Of course the acting's very basic, the characters are very basic and stuff like that, but I mean, the effects looked pretty cool. It was a nice people trapped in, you know, these houseboats and stuff. It was pretty dope, man. I highly recommend this. You can find this at Big Lots for like $3. Frankenfish is a lot of fun for, you know, the type of film it is. You never expect it to be that good. So Frankenfish, check it out. And it's been a while since I've done one of these, so my mouth's already getting dry, so I gotta take a drink of water real quick. Pause. Alright, we're back. So, let's continue on. Next up, we have another aquatic creature type film, and that is Bait. This was an Australian film, I believe. Bunch of people trapped inside a grocery store, bunch of great white sharks and, you know, shark type sharks eating people. I wasn't as high as other people on this one, but it was still pretty fun. Right along the lines of Frankenfish, maybe a little bit higher budget. After that, we have another film I picked up at Big Lots, that is Contagion. I was actually pretty impressed with this one. It's not so much of a horror film, but it is about the process of, you know, a outbreak, a viral outbreak, and it's actually kind of more about the idea that's scary, and they execute the idea very well. They do a good job of like showing the like kind of official look at what happens in these scenarios. Very much got under my skin. Not much of a horror film, not much action, not much, you know, craziness happening, but you know, it was pretty scary of the, you know, the idea. After that, we have Sex Tape, SX Tape. I haven't watched this one yet. This is one that came out last year, I believe. I just never checked it out yet. After that, we have Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. I've actually never seen this anthology. You know, it's kind of like the unofficial Creepshow 3 because of the people that worked on it. George Romero, and I believe Tom Savini was involved in this, Stephen King. So, I mean, it's very much an anthology in the vein of Creepshow from what I understand. So, you know, I'm very excited to finally check this one out. This is one of the anthologies, you know, a popular one that you just never checked out. I do like the TV show, though. Some of the episodes are cheesy. Actually, a lot of the episodes are cheesy, especially the ones being dealing with technology, but it's still a very fun show, and I'm looking forward to the movie. After that, we have Compound Fracture. You know, I've heard very mixed things about this one. This is, I believe, Tyler Mane and Derek Mears. So the remake Michael Myers and the remake Jason in the same film. This one was one that those two talked about a lot before it came out. I just hear mostly disappointing things about it, so I'm gonna hold off on checking it out till, you know, the time is right. After that, we have one film that I've actually heard recommended quite a bit to me, and that is The Host. I've never seen it. I'm looking forward to it. I hear there's, you know, a lot of CGI and stuff, but for what it is, it's pretty effective, fun, you know, monster romp. After that, we have a film that has been recommended to me to death, and I still haven't seen it. I know, shame on me, and that is Wreck, or Record. I really want to pick up the other two and then maybe wait for the fourth one and just do a Wreck marathon. I know that the third and fourth film are a little bit different than the first two, but, you know, I hear the first two were pretty goddamn amazing, so I'm really excited to check those out. Another film that has been recommended to me to death is a film that was kind of hard to find for a while. It's kind of out of print right now. It's a Dimension Extreme. You probably wouldn't know which one I'm talking about, but I actually found it on a website for a really good price. And the website is actually Hamilton Books, which you might be able to still get this there, and that is Inside. This is unrated. I wish it had that badass slipcover that I remembered seeing back in the day when this was first released. I've never seen this film, but god damn it am I excited to finally check it out, because I've heard people talk about this film to no end. It's part of the Fab Five that came out in, you know, 2007-ish era, and I hear it's pretty brutal, so definitely stoked to check that one out. After that, we have In Fear, another one that I believe came out last year. Just never got around to seeing it, so eventually will. Same goes for this one. This one is Stage Fright. I believe this is the remake. I think this is a musical, actually, which I'm a little nervous to do that because I don't think I've ever seen a horror musical. I know there's a few of them out there. I just never ever actually got around to seeing one. So I mean, I'm kind of a little hesitant to check this one out. If that's what it is, don't feel stupid if it ain't. But oh well. After that, we have some IFC Midnights. This is Blood Glacier. This one was kind of cool. I didn't like it as much as other people. I thought the effects were cool. It was definitely in the world of The Thing and films like that, just nowhere near as good. But, I mean, it was a solid film. I didn't love it like everybody else. I don't know what it was about it. I guess it just didn't grab me. After that, we have The Damned. I actually didn't even watch this one yet. I thought I did, but I actually didn't. I opened it, popped it in, and actually never ended up watching it. So I'm definitely going to eventually check it out. It's IFC Midnight. This one came out last year as well. After that, we have Wrecked, which I grabbed this at Dollar General for like $3. I love when I find, you know, titles like this at Dollar General. You can barely find them, but when you do, it is awesome. I remember they had a bunch of Full Moon box sets a couple years ago, man. I just grabbed, I love those things, and, you know, it just sucks that they don't really, you know, it's so hit and miss. It's really a lot of miss, but Dollar General sometimes has some solid films like Wrecked. I still haven't checked this one out, but I'm looking forward to it. After that, we have The Den. This was one of the best films I saw last year. I believe it made Jeremy and Moods' top 10 on our top 10 of 2014 episode on the podcast. It barely missed my top 10, but definitely was right up there with the best of them. So The Den is definitely a cool one to check out if you haven't seen it. I believe it's even on Netflix. After that, we have Almost Human. This one was actually really fun. This was a throwback monster alien type film with it was super low budget. You know, it was really impressive what these guys were able to do with the amount of money they had. And, you know, this one was a lot of fun. If you watch it, don't expect too much, don't expect to be blown away, but just expect a, you know, good low budget throwback horror film, and that's what Almost Human was. Dopeness right there. I really like that film. After that, we have Proxy. Love this one. Did make my top 10. I can't remember the placement, but I believe it was around 8-ish, somewhere maybe lower. I think it was lower. Solid film. You know, it was weird because when I first seen this one, I was almost like not really feeling like the storytelling angle, but afterwards, like I was in love with it. I don't know. After I sat on it for a few days and I kept thinking about it, that's when I realized, like, wow, this film really worked well for me. And that actually happened with another film, Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem was kind of like that. I was just kind of liked it at first, but after, you know, stewing on it for a few days, I realized, like, wow, I really, really love that film. After that, we have another IFC Midnight, and that is The Pact. Not seen this one, but I hear good things. Looking forward to it. I know there's a sequel on the way. Another IFC Midnight that I still haven't seen is Saint Nick. Christmas horror, come on, it's awesome. You know, I love Christmas horror, and I'm really excited to check this one out. Another Christmas horror film I haven't seen, but I'll probably wait till next year to check it out because I have a real weird thing where I like to watch Christmas films only during that time. If it snows outside, sometimes I'll still check out a Christmas film even after Christmas, but I'm really seasonal with my horror films. Like, I like my Halloween ones on Halloween time, I like my summer ones during the summer, and I like my Christmas ones during the Christmas time. Man, I just cannot talk today. Last IFC film we have for now, and it is My Amityville Horror. This is a documentary I wanted to check out. I've been picking up some documentaries here and there. I've been really on a documentary kick lately. I actually created a segment for it on the 22 Shots podcast because how much I've been interested in checking out documentaries. Now, this one's kind of based on like a real person. The child from the original Amityville family, the Lutzes, or the Lutz family. And I hear he's pretty messed up, so I'm definitely interested to check this one out. I wish they would do a documentary on the DeFeos. You know, they have, but I mean, like maybe even like another movie on the DeFeos, which was the original family in the Amityville house. Amityville 2 was based on the DeFeos, and I think that story is much more interesting. So I'd like to, if they do another Amityville story, which they are, but I mean, if they keep doing them, which they will, I say do another one on the DeFeos, man. I mean, it can't get any worse, right? So after that, we have Tremors, the complete series. This was also really, really cheap. This was like $7 on Hamilton Books once again. So you can find some decent shit on there. A lot of people don't know about that website. But I remember when this premiered on Sci-Fi, I actually caught the premiere, and I really liked it. And I only watched the one episode, And I know they canceled the season, you know, before it even finished airing, or they canceled the series. But I hear the numbers, you know, I remember hearing that the numbers were actually pretty good on the viewership and stuff. But Sci-Fi, I think this was back when it was SCI-FI, the cool Sci-Fi, where they actually gave a shit, wanted to switch their demographic, their target demographic, and I believe that's when they changed it to SY-FY, stupid, and they canceled the show simply because they wanted to do something different with their demographic. I don't know how true that is, but I believe it, because Sci-Fi Channel, you know, they pump out their Sharknadoes or whatever, but for every Sharknado that's a, you know, I guess a hit, there's a million terrible, terrible sci-fi films. Sci-Fi actually used to make solid, you know, cool, like insect, there was one, Creepy Crawlers, it was called They Nest, that was real cool back in the day. Man, Sci-Fi used to be the shit when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to that channel. After that, we have Intruder, $2.95 at Walmart. I believe this actually is like the cut version, which kind of pisses me off. I didn't realize that at the time. I think there's a Blu-ray that's kind of uncut. I'll probably end up getting that, so I don't even know if I want to watch it until I get the uncut version. I'm real weird about stuff like that. After that, we got John Carpenter's Vampires. This is another John Carpenter film that I didn't own. I've actually never seen this one, but I do remember starting to watch it, and I wasn't really feeling it, so who knows. I mean, it's freaking John Carpenter, though. You gotta give it a second shot if you don't like it the first time. It's freaking John Carpenter. You guys know him, right? After that, we have Dusk Till Dawn 4-film set. This has From Dusk Till Dawn, From Dusk Till Dawn 2, From Dusk Till Dawn 3, and Full Tilt Boogie. I don't know what the hell that is, to be honest. But the From Dusk Till Dawn first film, I love. That is a fantastic film. I remember renting it back when it first hit VHS, and I was living in the projects, and you know, I spent a lot of time inside for various reasons, but it was awesome, and I rented it a lot, and then I haven't really seen it a whole lot since then. So I'm excited to revisit that. I'm really curious about the sequels, and I really am curious to check them out, because I want to finish watching the From Dusk Till Dawn, the series show, and I hear that the sequels kind of tie in, so I'm kind of waiting to check out the sequels first. But I had to grab it in this Echo Bridge 4-pack thing. I think they're all on one disc. Yeah, they're all on one disc. It's a flipper disc, but I was so tired of waiting for decent editions of these films that this was like $3, and I was like, fuck it, dollar film, I'm just gonna do it. Transfers are probably awful, but it is what it is. After that, we have Three Extremes, and this is one that's been highly recommended to me for a while, a anthology. I'm really excited to check this one out. Takashi Miike's up in this bitch, and definitely gonna hit this one up. Got this one from Second Spin, really cheap. And after that, we have Piranha 2: The Spawning. Never seen this one. I don't know. See, I don't know if this is a sequel to the original or a sequel to the TV remake, but I want to say it's a sequel to the original. Yeah, I don't know. That James Cameron directed this, I guess. So that's of note, and you know, I don't know what to say about it. Pause again. Mouth is just so dry right now. I'm not used to talking this much this long. Guys, we're not even halfway through. This is crazy. After that, we have When a Stranger Calls, the remake. I've actually never even seen the original, but I recently picked it up. Spoiler alert, that's later in the update. So, I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm a completist, so I gotta pick it up, I guess. After that, we have the Salem's Lot remake in this weird-ass case. I've seen this film on a different case. This is like a TNT DVD. This is like literally a TNT DVD. I didn't know TNT made DVDs. So, distribution company, TNT, Salem's Lot remake, we'll check it out. After that, we have a film called Day of the Mummy. Image Entertainment sent me this one. I'm kind of glad I didn't actually pay for it, because it's really not worth it. it was like $10 at Walmart, and it's just an average film. It's like a 5 out of 10. Just not very good, not very bad. It's just blah, whatever. And then Wild Eye sent me these ones that I've yet to get to, yet to review. The Turnpike Killer. I actually hear some strong stuff about this one, so I'm probably going to check that one out first. And then we have Final Entries. This one looks like a ghostly, a bona fide ghostly right here. This is a bona fide ghostly. You know how you can tell? It has the camera thing right there. Oh man, that is just awful. So probably bad. Swamphead. Moon's actually talked this one up pretty well, so I'm gonna check this one out pretty soon as well. After that, we have Play Hooky. Badass cover. I like this cover, so looking forward to that one. And this one I actually watched, Bad vs. Worst. Pretty solid film until you realize, like, god damn, is this thing way too long. After that, we have a couple Uwe Boll films that all of films sent me. These things must not even be good enough to put on Blu-ray because they were only released on DVD, and that is Backwoods and Sanctimony, which, who knows, I gotta watch them pretty soon and give them some reviews though. After that, we have a film that I actually really enjoyed. I know a lot of people are liking it, and that is Found. This one is super indie and super well done. I mean, this is why I love horror right here, because of people like this who can go in and create this film, and it could come out of nowhere and really kind of blow you away. I was really impressed with this one. This is the type of indie that I like, that actually, you know, makes a serious effort to make a film, and they're not just, you know, spraying blood, shit, and dicks everywhere and just being stupid. After that, we have The Langoliers. I actually did a review on this one on the podcast. Actually, I really like this film. It's very long, you know, it's a miniseries and stuff. It's just something about it. It's eerie, it's creepy, it's weird, you don't know what's going on, it's a mystery. Kind of falls apart at the end, and the CGI is god-awful, but it's something that I just like for some reason. This film's, I really like it. It's pretty awesome to me. Plus it takes place on a plane, which is pretty cool. After that, we have a 4-pack. We have The Fear. We have The Fear Halloween Night. We have Grimm, and we have Killer Tongue. So, I only watched one of these, and that was The Fear. It was weird. It was weird as hell. I'll get to the other ones eventually, but I mainly grabbed that 4-pack because we had a theme on body bags that I had to review a film that was a cheap way to get it. After that, we have another pickup from Dollar General, $2.95. It's called Beneath MTV Films. Never even heard of this one, so who knows. Then we have another 4-pack, one of the better 4-packs out there, and that is the All Night Marathon 4-pack. This is What's the Matter with Helen, The Godsent, The Vagrant, and The Outing. The only one I've seen so far is The Vagrant, which was pretty solid. Bill Paxton, a lot of fun, silly stuff there. I really like these 4-packs that Scream Factory did. You know, I like the idea of them. It's a bunch of films that they necessarily don't feel like will sell on their own. Maybe they don't really have the, you know, negatives or whatever to do the Blu-ray transfers, so they just stuck 4 of them on one, I don't know if it's 2 discs, and release them really cheap. But apparently these didn't sell well, so we probably won't see a volume 3. That is sad news. This is one of the films that I'm not sure if I actually shown in an update, and that is The Jungle. I actually planned on watching this for the end of the year show, and I just never got around to it. Released last year, and god damn it, it got a green case, which if that's not a reason enough to pick it up at Walmart, then I don't know what is. After that, we have Growth. Just a cool cover, one that I've seen for a long time. I remember seeing it at Walmart. It had a really cool slipcase way back when it was released. Never grabbed it, but it's always one that I just liked based on the cover. And finally grabbed it off of Second Spin for really cheap. It was like 99 cents. Then after that, we have these next two I actually got in a double pack at Walmart. Some Mill Creek Entertainment, which is the other Echo Bridge. And, you know, I think it was like $4 for both of these. And the first one is Rampage, Killing Without Reason, a 10-part documentary. It looks like you got the Columbine kids on there, Charles Manson, some other crazy psychopaths. I love this type of stuff. I eat it up all day. Serial killers, psychopaths, documentaries, like I always have. I used to do reports and research on serial killers in high school. Don't know why, just seems like a lot of other horror fans did that too. It's something that's intriguing about how someone could be so messed up. And then we have America's Serial Killers, Portraits of Evil, a 10-part journey into darkness. I started watching this one actually, and I think it starts with Jack the Ripper. And then it has like the, you know, it goes through the whole thing. It has Albert Fish, and then goes to the Boston Strangler, Ed Gein. Kind of goes through the history, like chronologically, of some of the big serial killers in different parts. The Jack the Ripper one was pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to kind of getting past that one, because honestly, Jack the Ripper has never really interested me as much as, you know, like Dahmer or Gacy or Ed Gein. But it's still pretty interesting. I mean, so far it's worth it, just out of the one part that I watched. Then we have another film, 3 Extremes 2. I've heard lesser good things about this one, but still interested to check out both of the 3 Extremes films. Got this one from Second Spin as well on one of their sales. Then I grabbed the notoriously bad, well-known bad film, and that's Creepshow 3. Never seen it, never seen it. I'm curious, completist, gotta do it. So finally I grabbed it for a good price. I mean, I think it's out of print now, so it's hard to find, but I needed it. After that, we have one of my favorite anthologies, my favorite found footage films, and that is VHS. I was so heartbrokenly disappointed in the third film. I just had to wash that taste out of my mouth by grabbing the OG, the original VHS. This is the shit. I love VHS. It's, I believe it was my favorite horror film of 2012. So yeah, VHS is awesome. After that, I decided to grab another Stephen King film. I got this one used from Second Spin, and it almost feels new. It does say used, but I mean, it's still like kind of glossy, and none of the corners are bent, and it's kind of one of those box set type deals with the slim cases. Never seen this. I actually don't even know what this is. If it's like an anthology miniseries or something, I'm not sure, but it's Stephen King, and I gotta own everything Stephen King. So had to grab that one as well. Now this is another one that I feel like I might have had in an update before, and that is Hunger. I'm almost certain I had Hunger in the update, so I think I did. But this film's awesome. It's a cannibalistic underground, people trapped in one location. We call those contained horror films. That's what we kind of call them on the podcast. So it's one of those, and I love those. So definitely cool. You know, looking forward to revisit that one. I'm just losing all my words right now. After that, we have Trucks. This was awful. Enough said. Then we have some documentaries here. We have American Grindhouse. I haven't checked this one out yet, but looking forward to it. It looks like it's about, you know, a lot of the exploitation type of grindhouse driving films that came out back in the day. Then we have Not Quite Hollywood. A look at Ozploitation, I think this one is, or whatever. This one got a lot of good positive stuff when it came out, so definitely looking forward to finally checking that one out. This was really cheap on Second Spin as well. Then we have Badass Cinema. This was actually a pretty cool documentary. I covered it on the podcast. It was kind of a look at grindhouse exploitation films. Some good stuff there. Or blaxploitation, what am I saying? Blaxploitation films. So then we have Going to Pieces. This one I remember really liking when I first seen it, when it came out 2007. And for some reason, I just didn't feel like it was as strong this time. This is this, you know, history of like slasher films, and it feels like they barely touched the surface on this one. Maybe because when I first seen it, 2007, I hadn't seen, you know, a bunch of slasher films, so to me it was like fresh and like, oh, what's that film? What's that film? But yeah, it's decent still. It's worth picking up. And then we have Fantastic Flesh, The Art of Makeup Effects. This one was also very brief, barely touched the surface. I think it was only like 60 minutes long, so you know, it could have, you know, there was so much more to cover on makeup effects that they just didn't get to. Then we have The Day After. Now, Brandon, who calls into the podcast, you know, recommended this one, so I actually found it. I think this one's like kind of out of print. Scream Factory should actually pick this one up. It's MGM, TV film that came out in 1983, 2 hours long, and I hear it's about the end of the world, and it's pretty disturbing, so sounds awesome. Then we have another Takashi Miike film I've never seen. That is Audition. So looking forward to checking out Audition. I hear really good things about it. Actually, Jeremy said this one's overrated, but I'm interested to judge for myself. Then we have a terrible film, but I have the original, and I like Killer Snake movies, even the bad ones, and that is Python 2. So we'll give Python 2 a try. I believe I might have seen it on the Sci-Fi Channel back in the day. Then we have a film called Triangle, because I like picking up films that are also could be considered shapes, like Cube or The Box. Triangle. I'll check that one out. Next up we have Mockingbird. This one was pretty okay. It was almost good. Had a really strong idea and just fucked everything up. Just fucked it all up. I'm still kind of bitter at that one. That one kind of suckered me into believing that it was going to be something good. I even at one moment I was like, oh, this is going to be one of the hits of the year. Nope, not at all. Then we have Dead End. Love this film. Recently reviewed it. It's very, very solid. Christmas horror film, road horror, good shit there. Dead End is awesome. Then we have Kingdom of the Spiders. This is another one I might have updated before. William Shatner, spiders in the 70s, where the best killer animal films came from. And all practical effects, real spiders. Awesome stuff here. Kingdom of the Spiders rocks. Then we have, I think this might be like the oldest film I own, and that is The Phantom of the Opera from 1924. It's an interesting experience. You know, this was kind of my first like actual sit down and watch a full silent film. I had seen Nosferatu, but I don't think I ever really sat down and watched the whole thing. So it was definitely an interesting experience. Like, I can't say that I was blown away or I loved it or anything, but I think it's kind of like an acquired taste of horror where you kind of have to get used to them. After that, we have All Cheerleaders Die. I was a little disappointed in this one. I thought it was a little bit overrated, so not really too great. Then we have Nightmares in Red, White, and Blue. This one is a fantastic documentary. I'm actually going to be talking about it fairly soon, so I'll just, you know, leave it at that. Then we have another documentary I picked up. It's Best Worst Movie. I've actually never seen Troll 2. Like, I know I rented it before as a kid, but I don't think I ever, like, watched it and, you know, remembered it. I guess I need to see Troll 2 before I watch the Best Worst Movie. After that, we have A Decade Under the Influence. This isn't horror at all. It's not a horror documentary. I was misled into buying it because I thought it was a horror documentary. I looked at a big list on IMDb of like best horror documentaries ever, and this was on there. Not a horror documentary, but still a pretty interesting documentary. This is kind of a look at 70s and that, you know, whole era of the 70s, that like counterculture movement and stuff like that. So still pretty solid, just not, you know, very horror-ish. They cover a few horror films in there: The Exorcist, Jaws, Carrie. After that, we have Horror Business. This was a really cool one. Look at independent filmmakers, like very young filmmakers who, like, young in filmmaking. I guess some of them are, some of them aren't. Anyway, they're super low-budget filmmakers. Pretty cool documentary, you know, very amateurish and stuff, but it fit for what they was covering. Then after that, we have Eight-Legged Freaks. This is just one that I really liked as a kid. I guess a kid. I don't know when it came out. It was 2001-ish. So, I mean, I guess I was kind of a kid still. So, Eight-Legged Freaks is just a lot of silly fun. Then we have another one that I may have already updated, and that is Case 39. It was it was alright, you know. I'm not a big fan of Killer Kids. They don't really work for me. After that, we have Doll Graveyard, which I got in that Box of Dread, the Full Moon Edition. I actually already own this film in a multi-pack. I guess it's kind of cool to have its own solo release, because I did like it, but I was kind of disappointed I didn't get a Full Moon film that I didn't already own. So yeah, Doll Graveyard, it's pretty solid. I'll probably do a review on that pretty soon. And then we have one more DVD and a box set. So the last DVD is Ghoulies 4. I don't know, there's just something about it that I kind of enjoyed. I know it's crap, but I don't know, just something about it. You know, I wouldn't say it's like a 7 or anything, but definitely, you know, like a 5. I don't know. I'm really thirsty. Alright, so let's continue on. We got plenty more to go. We'll go into the box set, which is one that I actually just got in the mail today. And that is the Masters of Horror Mausoleum. This is season 1, and it has, you know, the entire season 1. I've always really been against the 2 season box sets because they're just kind of, I think, badly designed, especially that Skull one. But I really just wanted to pick up the films, and I don't know, this was like $20 new, and it's in good condition. You know, obviously it's new, but I mean, it came, I thought it was gonna like be beat up or something, but no, it came great. I just kind of wanted to get all the Masters of Horror episodes, and I'm trying to cut down on a little bit of space because, man, I don't know, just it seems like my space is getting more limited by the month, and I gotta start saving some space. So that's why, you know, like that From Dusk Till Dawn multi-pack that I picked up, that was definitely part of the reason too, because just you know, space is very limited. So after that, we'll move on to the Blu-rays, and first up we have Videodrome Criterion. Very, very awesome. I feel like I need to watch this film at least 10 more times to fully understand it, and then I probably still won't, but very, very good. That was actually one of the first Criterions I ever picked up, and you know, I didn't really understand what everybody loved about the company, but I'm starting to see it. Then we have The Devil's Backbone, which we also covered on the podcast. Very solid stuff here too. Guillermo del Toro, it's a great movie. Not so much of a horror film, more fantasy, but it's still a really good movie. After that, we have a film that I've actually never seen, Still Sealed, Antichrist. This is also Criterion. I just love their, you know, sturdy cases. I believe Zach was talking about that recently. Looking forward to Antichrist. And the final Criterion that I own and that I picked up in that period of time is The Blob. Loved it. So much fun. Something about it, just loved the film. So Blob is really cool. After that, we have The Bird in the Crystal Plumage. This is Dario Argento's first horror film, I believe. Haven't watched it yet. Still sealed. That's my goal this year. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna try to see as much Italian films as possible. Gonna start with The Bird with the Crystal Plumage and then go through Argento's available filmography. I know that there's a 3-pack from Blue Underground coming out that has like the second film, Cat o' Nine Tails, in the Animals trilogy, and I need to grab that because I've been looking for that Blu-ray for a while, but it's always been like $15 or more. So I'm gonna grab that version, you know, save a little bit of space in the 3-pack and stuff, and get 2 of his other films that I need to grab. After that, we have a 2-pack here. This is Blu-ray When a Stranger Calls original and Happy Birthday to Me. I have Happy Birthday to Me on DVD, and it's a really solid slash. I really like it. And I've actually never seen the original When a Stranger Calls, so looking forward to that as well. That's why I picked up the remake, by the way, because I had that original on order. And then we have Anaconda. This was one of the 788 Blu-rays out of the Walmart bin. Those things sucker me in because they just, I don't know, I'm bored, I'm at Walmart, I kind of want something, there's nothing there, and then I find like one horror title in the bin and I'm like, guess I gotta get it. After that, we have At the Devil's Door. This one made my top 10. I really, really enjoyed this film. I feel like a lot of people aren't really liking it though, so I don't know if it was just me, but I saw something in it. I really loved it. After that, we have Drive Angry. This is a film I've never seen, kind of modern day exploitation. Not really horror from what I hear, but you know, I kind of just want to see it. Then we have Christmas Evil from Vinegar Syndrome. Currently, this is actually in the Blu-ray player right now. I'm going to watch it after I'm done with this update. I actually started watching it last night, and I was really into it, so we'll see what's up with Christmas Evil. And then we have another Vinegar Syndrome, that is Massage Parlor Murders. I really like Vinegar Syndrome. They just... I'm just liking what they're doing. I think they're going to start picking up more horror titles. They're mostly like porn and stuff, but they've been putting out some horror titles. So Vinegar Syndrome, I think, is going to be a up-and-coming, you know, big horror distribution company pretty soon. So we'll see. After that, we have Night Train to Terror, and Moods definitely talks highly of this one. It's an anthology. After that, we have a film that Olive sent me, and that is Moontrap. You know, big ups to Olive for sending me this, because it's a Bruce Campbell film I've never seen. But, you know, it wasn't that great, but I don't know, I watched half of it again, and I was enjoying it a little bit more the second time. I don't know. People really are saying that this transfer is awful, but I didn't really feel like it was that bad. I thought it was, you know, average. Maybe a little above average, actually. I don't know. After that, we have a couple films that I got from Cult Epics. They hooked me up with Deathbed, The Bed That Eats. I'm so glad that I got this, because it was really pricey, and I probably would have never paid for it. So, just based on me not knowing what it is and how pricey it was. So now that I seen it, I probably, knowing now, I would have bought it, because it was really interesting, and I didn't know anything about it. This film was never released on VHS or DVD in the United States, and you know, it was like considered just, you know, nobody knew anything about it. It got bootlegged in the UK, and that's kind of how it you know, became a cult film, but finally released straight to Blu-ray. I find the story of this film really interesting. Some good special features on here. A lot of fun. I recommend picking it up if you can get it for a semi-decent price. After that, we have another film we covered on the podcast, and that's Necromantic. Also called Epics hooked me up with this one. What can I say? You know, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was freaky, weird shit, and I actually thought it was pretty effective. Really made me squirm in some scenes. You know, was really having a hard time watching it. You know, Jeremy pretty much said that he didn't see what the big deal was in it, but stuff like this, I still have an imagination. I still can, like, you know, connect the pieces that are shown to me in film, and I still get kind of scared. I still get kind of grossed out. Still affects me, man. That's why I love film. Horror films specifically. After that, we have Silent Night. We covered this in on the podcast as well. I believe I like this more than my other two co-hosts, but you know, it's I don't know. It wasn't great, but at the same time, I just really enjoyed it. After that, I might have updated this one before, but it's Spiral. This film is awesome. This is one of Adam Green's films. Looking forward to his next film, Digging Up the Marrow. But I think this is his second best film next to Frozen. Man, just a really, you know, Hitchcockian gets thrown around a lot, but I guess you could call it like Hitchcockian. It's a thriller. It has like multiple double ending things, which is really kind of threw me for a loop. So Spiral is really awesome. I highly recommend Spiral, and you can get it for so cheap too. After that, we have my #1 horror film of 2014, and that was The Sacrament. I think a lot of people left this one off their list because of recency bias, where they just kind of forgot about it because it came out, you know, pretty earlier in the year. But man, I loved The Sacrament. Definitely #1 for me. After that, we have a film. I think I did update this one before, and that's The Woman in Black. Not going to really say much about it. I watched it when my house burnt down, and I just wasn't into it. I guess my house didn't burn down. I'm still in it. But it caught on fire, and it just felt devastating. After that, we have some Scream Factories. We have Ginger Snaps. I actually got the poster that came with Ginger Snaps too. Really awesome film. This is actually my favorite werewolf film. This shit is dope. I love Ginger Snaps. Then we have Pumpkinhead, which is one of my all-time favorite films. Also got the poster for this one. Can't wait to hang it up, get my room finished, and hang up these posters. Pumpkinhead is classic. There's so many good things I could say about it right now, but I can't talk anymore. After that, we have Lake Placid, which a lot of people hated this release. I don't really know why. It's just, obviously it's a modern film. Obviously you can get the DVD for super cheap, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, it didn't really bug me or anything. I like Lake Placid. After that, we have Dolls, which is this actually my latest pickup, collector's edition. I believe the only collector's edition I need now is the Vincent Price Collection Volume 2, the Amityville box set, and Lords of Illusions. So Dolls, yeah. I mean, I've never seen Dolls, but I'm really excited to check that one out. After that, we have Phantom of the Paradise, which I believe is also a musical. So I don't know, man. I don't know. After that, we have Motel Hell, which I didn't really love the first time I seen it. I've only seen it one time, and I just didn't love it like other people do. But you know, I will check it out, and I did get the poster for this one too. So looking forward to revisiting it. Maybe my opinions will change a little bit. Then we have Nosferatu, the Vampire. Never seen it. Jeremy's real high on this one, so looking forward to that. Then we have Evil Speak, which I've also never seen, but I believe Moods likes a lot. I think a lot of people like a lot. Then we have Final Exam, which I hear is a pretty awful slasher, but, you know, looking forward to checking it out. Who knows, maybe it'll be decent enough for me to watch. After that, we have The Battery. I love this film. 10 out of 10. One of the only 10s I gave out last year. And it was just truly amazing. I was blown away by it. Made our Hall of Fame on the website, and it would be my #1 film of 2014 had it actually came out in 2014. Or, yeah, 2014. After that, we have The Doctors and the Devils, also Scream Factory. This is one that I've never heard of, never heard anybody talk about, and I ended up really, really liking it. So, you know, we covered that on the podcast if you're interested. After that, we have Bad Dreams and Visiting Hours. May have updated this one in the past. These are two films I've never seen, but looking forward to them. Now, sorry for the craziness of my sporadicness and stuff, but I'm just like kind of out of it from talking so long. But we're almost done here, so let's continue on. After that, we have I actually don't know the names of these. The Beast of Hollow Mountain and the Neanderthal Man. Jesus Christ. Never seen these, but I don't know, man. These look awesome to me. After that, we have Squirm, which I recently picked up. I've actually seen Squirm, but it's been so long. I'm really excited to check out Squirm again. After that, we have The Squad. I was kind of disappointed in this one. I really like the idea of war horror films, and this one just didn't really pull it off. It had a lot of good moments, really, really good cinematography, but it just fell flat in storytelling. After that, we have Without Warning. Never seen it, but looking forward to it. After that, we have The Final Terror. Also never seen it, but looking forward to it. Now, I believe this one, I don't know if this one has some war themes to it, but hopefully it does. And finally, for the Scream Factories, we have Nightbreed, the limited edition set, which a lot of people were mad about. A lot of people had beef with this. I kind of supported it. I was never going to buy it because it was so much money. Definitely overpriced. I 100% agree with that. But somebody was nice enough to send me this, and I don't know who it was. So thank you, whoever sent me Nightbreed, the limited edition set. they said they was Scream Factory, but I've never been able to contact them again, and I never got anything else from Scream Factory, and it kind of didn't sound like somebody, it wasn't like proper, there was misspellings and stuff, so who the hell knows, but 2,597 out of 10,000 is what I got. Then we have From Dusk Till Dawn, the Season 1 Blu-ray, which is pretty expensive. This is the El Rey Network's first TV show, and I actually watched the first couple episodes when it aired, and I was really into it, and the El Rey channel is awesome. Highly recommend you guys check out that channel if you have it in your area. And if you don't have it, switch to a cable provider that does have it, because it's an awesome network. And this Blu-ray I actually got for free. So there was a website who had the Halloween box set and a bunch of other titles, like ridiculously underpriced. Obviously a pricing error. So I put the Halloween box set and this in my cart. Obviously they just had to cancel. Everybody and their mother was ordering these things. They had to cancel the orders, say apologize, send like a coupon code like, guys, look, we made a mistake, pricing error, we can't honor these purchases. But they actually did. They sent me that email that said that, but they also ended up refunding me my money, my full money, but ended up sending me this too. So I got this for free, which is pretty awesome. And next up we have Survivor. Wait, how did this get here? Anyway, we have Survivor, the complete second season. I was trying to pick all these up on DVD, but they're so expensive because of the season like 3, 4, 5, like a lot of the seasons, most of the seasons are actually not officially on DVD. They're through the Amazon Create manufacture on demand thing. And they're just like ridiculously overpriced, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually continue buying those. After that we have, this is the last of it, and I got this from Black Friday, during the Black Friday sales. We have Pitch Black. This is the kind of like steelbook version. I actually really like Pitch Black. Then we have King Kong. I wish they would put some better damn films in these like cool comic booky steelbook things, but they just don't. But King Kong, you know, a lot of people don't like it. I enjoyed it for what it was, I guess. Then we have The Chronicles of Riddick. Never seen it, but I do like Pitch Black. Finally, we have Shaun of the Dead, which, if anybody knows me, knows that I think this film is the most overrated film of all time. Then we have You're Next, which I was a big fan of. I believe it made my top 10 of 2013, so looking forward to revisiting that one. And next up we have Godzilla here. I heard a lot of bad things about it, but decided to pick it up on Blu-ray. Then we have Pacific Rim, which not really my alley. I don't really like the action horror, not even horror really, barely. Monsters are in it, I guess, but not really my thing, but I decided to grab it anyway. Then we have Silent Hill Revelations. I remember really liking the first film, and upon rewatch I really didn't care for it, so we'll see how Revelations is, which is a terrible title, by the way. Revelations, Jesus Christ. Then we have Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. I've owned 1 through 4 on Blu-ray, and I only seen 1 and 2, but I'm a completist, and I eventually want to watch them, because I actually like the Paranormal Activity films, at least the first 2. At least the first one. The second one's okay. The Purge. Did not really like this film, but the sequel's really awesome. Speaking of which, we have The Purge 2, Anarchy. Really awesome. I don't know, I enjoyed it. I mean, the ending still kind of pissed me off, and I don't like the story where, I don't know, it just feels kind of Hollywoodish. It's just something about the narrative that kind of bugs me, but this one was definitely a lot better than the first one. After that, we have the last couple here. Let me grab them. Psycho, which is a classic. I kind of don't know why I bought this, because I do want to grab that like 5-film box set with from the Alfred Hitchcock's films. So maybe I'll just give that one away when I eventually get that. You know, the one with the birds. Next up, Sinister. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. A lot of bad things when it came out, and now a lot of good things. So I think I'll like it. I'm looking forward to that. Then we have Gravity. I started watching this on TV, like on Showtime or Stars or something. I was kind of into it, so I picked it up on Blu-ray. Then we have Blade 1, 2, and 3. I really like the first two. I've never seen the third one, but I hear it's not very good. Finally, we have Rover, which I hear good things about this one. Never seen it. And then the final thing that I got in the past couple months is the glorious Halloween box set. Blu-ray set. Love the black cases. I was really proud of this release from Scream Factory. I really like this release. There's a lot of special features on here. I mean, overall, I will say that it was slightly underwhelming. I was just expecting it to be... Then again, I watched all these films in like 3 days, so you know, it was a lot to watch all these films in a row. But I mean, I'm excited about the special features. There's tons on here, and you know, it's definitely a good set. It's just I was proud that we was finally able to get all the Halloween films in one place, which is nice. This is probably the last time I'm buying these fuckers, though. And yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, that is a huge update. Like I said, this isn't everything that I had in the past 6 months, but it's a lot of it. That's it. That's a wrap. I don't know if anybody stayed to the very end. Let me know. That's crazy. I don't even know how long this is going to be, but I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to go drink some water because my throat's actually hurting now. And I hope I didn't annoy you guys too much. So peace out. I'm glad to be back, by the way.